In for Dean Hammond, our president, our head pilot, our captain of the ship, and he is flying today. So he gave me some great advice. He said, Schrader, he's good about planning. He said, I want you to be a game manager. Hand the ball off and don't screw up. That's all you got to do. So that's what I will try to do today. The other thing I want to mention is I kind of feel like a Baptist preacher on Easter with this audience out here. I am so glad to see a packed house. We meet almost every Thursday here at this location, and we'd like for you to come back to Rotary in the future, and hopefully you'd be interested in joining Rotary. So as we kick it off today, I'd like to introduce Phil Gray, who will do a moment for inspiration. Thank you, Phil.
I thought they all came to see us.
I did too.
I don't know. Okay, guys, I'm going to do the pledge and four-way test first. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. The four-way test: is it the truth, fair to all concerned, would build goodwill and better friendships, be beneficial to all concerned? This may be a little loud, is it?
It's real quiet in the back. I know.
Okay.
With balance.
No, that's fine. Everybody have a seat. Have a seat. I'm sorry. We want to get to the show, so we're going to do this as quickly as we can. I do want to say that when I first started going to UK football games in the '60s with my dad, Charlie Bradshaw was the head coach. There's been 10 head coaches since then, and now the 11th. And we are thrilled to have him. And I am excited to see an offense that includes more plays than running between the guards, quarterback draw, and a 2-yard pass. The Rotary Club Food for Families project had another successful year. It's the 6th year that a small group of Rotarians have given their time and their money once a month, October through May, to supply foods for families in need at Northern Elementary. The project hit 2 new milestones this year. 200 Northern Elementary families were served over the 8-month period, and 4 new volunteers were added to a team total of 11 dedicated Rotarians. But all the Rotarians who participated in the Food for Family program that are here, please stand up. Good. Thanks, guys. Each month, 13 Rotarians, along with Northern Elementary teachers, staff, and students, sorted, bagged, and handed out or delivered all the groceries to the families. Nadia Higgins is the Northern Elementary Family Resource Coordinator. We couldn't have done it without her. The 13 Rotarians, the Rotary Club of Lexington Endowment Fund, and the Foundation for Affordable Housing, Inc., with some of its directors, provided all the funding. $4,858 were donated by the 13 Rotarians participating. $2,247 were donated by the 2 foundations' endowments. Food security in Lexington continues to be a serious problem for many local families, and with soaring food, fuel, and utility costs, it's only going to get worse. Projects like Food for Families are critical, and we appreciate the Rotary Club of Lexington's endowment for its continued support. This project is exactly what it means to be a Rotarian, making Lexington a better place to live, especially for those in need the most. Thank you.
I'd like to give a special shout out and a thank you to Kevin Weaver. Kevin's the past president. He helped arrange for the coach to speak to our club today. And thank you very much, Kevin, for putting that together. Thank you. Okay, introduction of guests. And we've got a lot of guests. We probably don't have time to introduce everyone, but Sharon Townsend will come to the podium and acknowledge our guest today.
First, would you pass that to Coach Stein? Welcome, everybody.
Wow, this is an incredible group. Thank you all for supporting the Rotary Club and Coach Stein. We are so excited. For all of you who are guests, would you please stand? I'm not going to call everybody's names. All right, thank you all. And as Jamie said, please come back. Please join Rotary. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Okay, we have no meeting next week. No meeting here next week. I want you all to be aware of that. But we do have a lot of birthdays this week and next week. I'm going to reel them off real quick. Becky Reinhold, Pam Goodwine, Buzz Carmichael, David Levine, Andy Tate, Harry Calicote, Buzzy Tenney, and yours truly has birthday next week. So happy birthday to all Rotarians. Why do we celebrate birthdays? Well, there's a lot of reasons why we celebrate, but one way we celebrate at Rotary is by supporting our endowment, now called the Charitable Fund. And you will be getting a letter, a birthday recognition. If we missed your birthday, we're going to still send you a birthday recognition. And we ask that everybody donate $1 for each year that they've been alive. And believe me, that's starting to add up around here a little bit. So we could raise $14,000 if every Rotarian gives $1 for every year they've been alive. So be on the lookout for letters and your birthday recognition. All right. Tonight, we have a big event tonight. Susan Adams, where are you, Susan? Are you here? Okay. Susan is doing a great job with our social activities. There's a picnic at Gatton Park. What time does it start, Susan? Do we still have room to add a few people? Check with Susan if you're interested. It's going to be a great time and it's going to be undercover. So that is tonight. The lottery, let's go, Cheyenne. And Joe Bryant, is Joe here? I'm in the pot, so I.
1560.
All right, 1560.
And we're looking for the ace of diamonds.
You want to call it, Joe? You call it. Ace of diamonds, $1,560.
Last four numbers? Okay. It's 0225.
All right, ace of diamonds.
Ready? Good. Okay. And this is going to be a shocker. 0226. There we go, right there in the back. All right. 0226.
Real quick.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm Joel Bryant. I'm with All Star Purchasing. We're a local business here in Kentucky that does business across the country. We're a group purchasing organization. So we work with food and beverage manufacturers to aggregate their spend and get them a better price on the things they buy, better than what they can get on their own. So if you know someone in the food and beverage industry, we'd love to connect. Thanks.
Okay. We've got President's Day, June 25th. That is the end of the Rotary year. Please make plans to attend. We've got a lot of special things lined up, right, Peggy? For June 25th, that's the last meeting of our Rotary year. So I think I've run through all the announcements. Very glad once again for all of you to be here. We want you to come back. We've got a special introduction with Jeff Picoro, played football at UK, knows the coach, knows the program. And it's my honor to introduce Jeff Picoro, who will introduce the coach.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. I'm going to be short and sweet because you want to hear from him. You want to hear from me, all you have to do is listen to me bitch and complain every Saturday during the game. So hopefully that won't happen this year. I do want to go through one thing. What he has done, and if you want to read his bio and all that, I'm not going to go over all that. It's in the wheel horse, just it's in front of everybody. You can read it in there. I played with his father, so I've known this family for a long time. When you look at the coaches that have come to UK, each of them has brought something different. Let's go back to Mark Stoops. And when Stoops got here, he opened up the state of Ohio. And what happened? The recruiting went up. Top 30 recruits almost every year. Now you get Will. And when Will came in, he said, Ohio's not enough. We're going to recruit against the entire country. And what has he done? Well, as of today, the 14th ranked class of incoming freshmen in the entire country, 8 four-star students coming in, athletes that are going to be playing. It's never been done here before. They never had 8 in one class, but they got it now with him. I talked to Eric Wood last week. A lot of you may know him. He was a teammate of Will's at the University of Louisville when Will first got there. He went on to play with the Buffalo Bills 9 years as an All-Pro. And I said, what do you think about Will taking over at Kentucky? And he laughed, and then he said, he's going to do an outstanding job. I knew from the minute he came onto our football team, he was smaller than everybody else, but he played with a chip on his shoulder. When I want a quarterback, I want somebody that's cocky and arrogant. You've got to be that way to be successful. And he was. And Eric said, there is no doubt in my mind that this young man is going to be successful at the University of Kentucky. He's proven it already. I've been privileged to go to a bunch of the practices. They are upbeat. They are exciting. No one takes their helmet off. There are no breaks. You're out there for 2.5, 3 hours and you're busting your hump. But there's music playing. He's screaming and hollering, and the guys love it. And if that can continue, this is going to be a very, very successful program. I would love to be able to put my helmet on and play in this offense, and playing against this defense is not going to be fun, I'm telling you. So anyway, without any further ado, your coach, Will Stein.
Please sit down, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Jeff, for that intro. Cocky and arrogant usually isn't how I describe myself, but no, thanks for having me here. Still learning what Rotary is, which is cool. It seems like just a group of people, all one common goal to try to make this place, even better. So fired up to be here. Before I get going, I would be remiss not to acknowledge just some things that we've been going through in our program this week. We lost a teammate, and it was an absolute tragedy. Still dealing with that mentally myself. I know our team is. Grief is real, and I know everybody in this room has lost somebody that they love at some point in their lives, and it's never easy, and there's never any words that you can say to a team, especially in those moments. There's no rubric for a head coach to have those types of meetings with the team, especially 6 months into the job. So, just a complete tragedy. But, we're praying for Nick, for his family, praying for our team, our teammates, people that were really close with him, and, want to continue to honor him, not just this season, but, for the rest of the time with Kentucky football. So, I'd be remiss not to talk about that because that's really on my mind currently. But, we talk about our DNA traits in our program. It's really what we're built on. People say culture, like Rotary has a culture. To me, it's much more than that. That's a very overused word in football, in business, and life is culture. Like, we define it through our DNA traits, who we really are inside. And it really all starts with connection. Connection is our number one DNA trait. It's actually knowing the person to the left and to the right of you, knowing the people at the tables, knowing their why, knowing their purpose, knowing their story. That's where everything starts with our team, is the connection, not just player to player, but coach to player, to where we have real transformational relationships. We invest in these players. They invest back in us. It's not transactional where we just bring them in and spit them out. And I know everybody thinks about the transfer portal and how awful that is. It's really not. It's just another opportunity for us to affect a young person in a positive way. And so that's why connection's number one. Accountability is number two. Got a really simple rule for our guys: be where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be there with perfect effort. I think if everybody in this room could follow that, our world would be a much better place. So just be accountable for your actions. And in football, it translates to do your job. If your job is to run a route at a certain depth, well, that's what you're supposed to do. Same in life. Toughness is our third DNA trait. It's pretty apparent that the game of football is very tough. But I like to tell our guys, life is tough. That's why football is the greatest sport. I know I'm the biggest Kentucky basketball fan you're going to find, but basketball is not real life to me. Football is real. Oh, serious. Hear me out. Basketball, you can go down and shoot, miss, and then hustle back on defense. You get the ball right back, shoot again, miss, go back on defense, go shoot, make. Okay, it's not bad. Football, we can go from the -1 yard line, 99 yards, and get stopped on 4th down and 1. Think about life. Think about stuff that you guys have gone through. You work your entire life or work so hard for that job or that promotion or something, that new car, whatever it is, and you just don't quite get it. But everything that you learned along those 99 yards made you a better person, made you stronger, made you tougher. The flip side's on defense. You could get the ball driven down all the way to the 1 yard line and then stop somebody. Same thing with just having resilience, having mental toughness as a person, as a player. That's why I think football is the greatest sport. And then sacrifice is our 4th one. To me, it's taking care of the name on the front so the name on the back prospers, right? Doing something that is extraordinary requires sacrifice. You can't just expect to get what you want in life just by showing up. There's stuff that we give up, stuff that y'all gave up today just to show up to this meeting, stuff that I give up as a coach that, that affects my family. But to me, it's for a bigger purpose, for a bigger calling. So those are our DNA traits. That's who we are as a team. It's what we embody. We embody not only the spirit of our team, but of Kentucky, of the city of Lexington. And I'm really, really excited about this season. I think we got a great group of guys. I like the kind of underdog mentality, like Jeff had talked about. How I am as a coach, to me, is how our players are going to play, which is tough, gritty, confident, believe in our process and how we work every single day. Right now, we're really in our 3rd phase. We started our summer strength and conditioning last week. And now we're into what I just said, strength and conditioning, building these guys up for really 53 days from now when we start our first fall camp practice. And then it's 86 days until September 6th or September 5th. Excuse me, September 5th at 1 p.m. So extremely excited about this season. People ask me, what are the expectations? What do you want to see? I play every game to win. I don't know how else to do it. If I'm playing my grandma in checkers, I want to beat her. It just is what it is. So if you don't play the game to win, if you don't just spot the ball and understand that your process has worked, then don't take the job. This is a tough job. Why? Because it's college football. Everybody's competitive now. The SEC is, the Big Ten, the Big 12. Everybody's got good players. So don't tell me it can't be done. I'm not a guy that likes the word can't. I'm going to push this program forward. Got a lot of respect for all the people that came before me. My dad's a letterman at Kentucky. My mom went to Kentucky. I grew up a diehard Wildcat fan. I was in those uniforms as a kid with the plastic helmet and the Power K on the side. I got plenty of pictures to show you all if you guys ever want to see them. But, I believe my journey, it just brought me back to Kentucky. It was really refreshing, and it felt at home when I put the blue back on, just because that really was my entire childhood and really teen years was all Kentucky. Would go to Commonwealth Stadium every single Saturday when the Cats played at home. Went to Rupp Arena on those Tuesday night games at 9 p.m. with my dad up in the rafters. So I am one of you all. I am Big Blue Nation. That is to my core. And I'm just really excited about the opportunity to lead the Wildcats into this new era of college football. So with that, I would love to open it up for any questions. Yes, sir. Asked about my offense and what the plan is. I don't like to categorize us in, hey, we're air raid, we're spread. We're really like a modern pro style offense. So we play in multiple different personnel groupings, meaning who is actually on the field. We play under center, we play in the gun, we play in a huddle, out of a huddle. We like to differentiate our tempos. I think, we have probably a little bit more higher volume of schematics than maybe other teams, but to me, it's all about being really good at something and then dressing it up a million different ways. So if we love outside zone, or we love duo, or we love 4 vertical passes or deep crossers, we're going to get really good at those concepts and then manipulate the defense each week to be able to run our best plays. But everything's driven through the quarterback. It really is. Being a quarterback by trade, I always, think about them first and everything. And then offensive line play would be a close second. And then we distribute everything out as we go. But, I love our quarterback, Kenny Minchie. I think he's going to be a really good player. He's really smart. He's got the intangibles that you look for. I think our offensive line is really big, very physical. We were able to add depth where we needed to at that spot. Receivers are young but explosive. Running backs, that's a piece to me. Like, got to continue to build depth there. But overall, I like our players, and I think they're working really hard to put a product on the field everybody's excited about. Yes, sir.
This is one of the challenges the last couple of years. How we're not playing the players or here. These guys don't have the strength of backup like that. How would you characterize that?
He asked about the depth of the team. Yeah, I think, you see that across all of college football. The days of, teams like Alabama and even Ohio State and some of these other squads having 5 deep at running back where they can just stockpile these players. It's lessened much more. Even when we were at Oregon, the past 3 years, once you get past a certain threshold, you just get into those developmental players that in big moments, it's not their knowledge of the game, it's really the strength and them being able to hold up in the heat of battle. So when it comes to our team, do we have the depth that I want? Somewhat in certain positions, in certain positions we do, but some of them are unproven. And that's why recruiting the high school players are really important. When you see our commitment list right now, I think we are up to 22, because you still have to build it from those ranks. College football, it's like the NFL. You have to have the transfer portal. You have to have high school recruiting. You have to have the draft. You have to have free agency in the NFL. They work hand in hand. So we go out and get depth where we need to with the transfer portal, but I do think it's critical to have those developmental players in your program that can really spring forward you for the next couple of years. So I don't think we're quite championship level, but I do think we added a lot in the portal where we had 34 players, just because when I showed up, the next day was signing day. Like, literally, I got the job the next day, the next morning was signing day. I believe there was only like 10 committed. So we had to retain those as much as we can and then go attack the portal. We got a daycare back here or something. Okay, go ahead. All right.
What's the biggest challenge you're build over? And the second thing is, what do you need from the community to help make that?
That's about the biggest challenges to building a championship level team. And what do we need from the community? I mean, there is no time anymore. That used to be something that you could say, I need some time. There really isn't as much anymore, just because the ability to go acquire talent, you can go now through the transfer portal and get guys that can come play now. I think depth is a big thing, like the question I just had. Because when you get to that really 7th offensive lineman or 8th offensive lineman that typically plays in a season, can they go in there and play well? When you get to the 6th, 7th, 8th defensive lineman, are they able to go in there and give you valuable depth? Quarterback plays, I think, is imperative to success in college football, not just college. Any of the best teams that you all probably seen in football, Little League, through high school, college, pro, they probably had the best quarterback. So that to me is still a major piece to the puzzle, is getting the quarterback position right. Mentioned Kenny. I think Kenny's a really good player, still growing in our offense, but I like where he's at right now. And then remind me your second question. What do I need from the community? Well, I got you guys here. Listen, the price of a roster is only going up. And for anybody in this room to say, oh, well, they're passing these bills in the Senate, none of that crap is happening. Like, it sounds like a good idea, but I'm in the mindset, I'm going to keep pushing the way it is until they literally tell me it's not happening. It's got to pass the Senate, then the House, and all this stuff. And it's a bunch of people making decisions about how football should be played that don't even play football. I don't even know if I've ever played football. That's what's scary to me. So what do we need from the community? Continue to support, continue to show up. Because when we play well on Saturdays, guess what? Y'all are going to get the rewards of that too. Because everybody's going to come to Commonwealth or Kroger Field. They're all going to pack it out. Then they're going to go to your businesses and eat and dine and drink and have fun afterwards. And more people are going to want to come to Lexington and live because the football team is good. That's a fact. Look at the University of Alabama. When I was growing up, I mean, shoot, Kentucky beat Bama when I was a kid. It wasn't like Alabama was just some juggernaut when I was a kid. Now, when Nick Saban got there, they win. They get the best professors. They get more students. They get more people living there. They build up Tuscaloosa. And now it's an elite place to go to school and to play football. So that to me is huge. So investment into our team. I mean, it used to be a $25 million roster was a lot. That was 2 years ago. Next year is going to be 40 million. 40. Yeah, it's not going down. This year, the price of admission for a championship caliber roster, in my opinion, is around the $35 million mark. To be really consistent, to go play well, and to contend for a conference title to get you in the playoffs. Next year is not going down. It's just going to keep going up until they truly stop or manage the salary cap and NIL, which to me, the only way to do that is to make them employees. That's it. Or else it's going to keep going up. So we have to keep pushing. If y'all want more people at your businesses, invest in Kentucky football. Call the K Fund, tell them I'm going to give money and I want to go directly to Kentucky football. That's how you do it. So I'll take every dollar cent y'all got. That little pot, I should have put my name in that pot for the $1,500. Okay. Yes, sir, in the back.
Senator be paid a lot less in NIL money. I mean, does that create any animosity among the team members?
No, because their quarterback's getting paid a lot and their center's getting paid a lot too. Yeah. Just like ours is. So those are vital positions. I mean, it's like the NFL, your best players are going to get paid. So does it create animosity? I don't know. Now when you got Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel and Dante Moore and we got Kenny, like they go play well, nobody really cares because you're winning games. But sure, you got to manage expectations for players, but that's part of it, just like y'all have employees and every year the people just keep coming back for a raise. And it's like, well, what have you really done to deserve the raise? Same things with players, same things with parents. So same things with probably people in this room that have asked their boss, and you can think to yourself right now, did I really deserve that raise? I don't know. You're your greatest coach. You're your greatest employee. So that's something to me that we deal with, but I would imagine a lot of people in this room deal with as well. Yes, in the back.
Whether other coaches, football heroes are taking inspiration from women twice doing things they said, and motives one of them. Who do you always tell?
That's a great question. Football heroes. I know Jeff played with my dad and, he's definitely one of them. He always told me it's not how big you are, it's how big you play. So that was like my mantra as a player, and honestly, probably still with me today as a coach. I was the product of elite coaches. At Trinity High School, my head coach, Bob Beatty, was, one of the best in the history of the state, won a lot of state championships, and really instilled discipline and toughness into our program. Steve Crackthorpe, he was somebody that brought me on at Louisville, and he passed away 2 years ago. He would still text me every single Saturday, every spot I was at, wishing me good luck. He was somebody that believed in me. Talk about Eric Wood, brought me in, started me as a walk-on. He could have started other people. He could have started the scholarship guy, but I beat out the scholarship guy as a 5'10" on a good day walk-on. And he said, I don't care how far this kid can throw it, who I beat out, Will's playing. So that gave me belief as a coach. If there's a player that's better and he's deserved it, put him in. He should play. Charlie Strong was huge. I just talked to Charlie the other day. He's just been he really was kind of more like the Bob Beatty style, discipline, toughness. And then, I worked for Hank Carter at Lake Travis High School, worked for Jeff Traylor at UTSA. Obviously, Dan Lanning's been a huge mentor to me at Oregon. So I've been really blessed to have great coaches in my life, mentors, really just men in my life, from my grandfathers to my uncles to my coaches that just showed me what, being a good dude is all about and working hard. So I would say those are the people that I look up to the most. Yes, sir.
Coach, thank you for being here, especially everything that went on this week. I know it's a challenge, but if I could, a quick comment and then a question, but
Sure.
I'd like to, if you don't mind, recognize Slats.
Of course.
Susan Lax, director of athletic communications and media relations. And she's been at UK 28 or 29 years. She's the reason or a big part of getting this together, getting coach here and getting it set up. So thank you, Susan. Obviously, the team goes beyond players. It's like having people like Slacks and everything. Could you tell us a little bit about some of the key coaching positions you filled?
Yeah, of course. And you mentioned, Susan, she's been phenomenal since day one and then been my, right in my corner, right-hand person since I got here. So really appreciate you, Slacks, for everything that you do. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to like point out one specific person. It really takes such a village, and we have a large staff. I'm really excited about our coordinator hires that we had with Jay Bateman, who we got from Texas A&M, an elite communicator, developer, recruiter. Joe Sloan, who I've known Joe for now probably about 5 years. Talked a lot of football. We were both in New York at the Heisman Trophy ceremony together, sitting front row. His guy won, my guy didn't. So we connected really through football. Excited about Joe and his relationship building, how he runs really just the day to day with our offensive staff, which is really impressive. Parker Fleming's my special teams coordinator. Came with me from Oregon, but prior to that, he was at Ohio State as their special teams coordinator. So another guy, just elite communicator. Pat Biano is my GM. I think the GM in today's college football, college athletics is so important. He's able to talk to agents. He's able to figure out numbers on players, deal with roster building and roster retention, which is that's what you have to have. You have to have great players to go win. So Pat's done a phenomenal job. Brandon Roberts, who's my head strength and conditioning coach. We just put $3 million in our weight room. And I know in the NIL and the portal age that a lot of money has gone there, but we still have to think about our current team. So when I got the job, I saw our weight room. I said, this is not good enough for the SEC, for what we want to be. Our players deserve the best. So we were able to go out and work with Sorinex, which is a top of the line strength and conditioning equipment, and redid the entire floors, got all brand new equipment, and they did it in about 10 to 12 days, and it was $3 million, and it was well worth it because our players are working their butts off. Baseball can come right over and work out in there as well. And so that was really big. So it takes everybody to answer your question, but those are just to name a few, some of the guys that are, might have a higher title that I think have been excellent so far. Yes, sir.
How do you find time management skills, strategies, compartmentalize to your responsibility and put forward the best foot up and get to the report?
Yeah, I was at Oregon going through the playoffs and got hired at Kentucky at the exact same time. And to sit here and make up something like I was able to do it and do it smoothly would be a complete lie. It was really hard. It was hard for both schools. It was hard on me. It was hard on my family. It's just a lot, man. You're dealing with a lot of stress. And so just being vulnerable with y'all, it was hard. Especially when you're literally at the cusp of winning a national championship and trying to give your best to this program, who ultimately was a major part, if not the reason I got this job, while also trying to build a roster that is competitive and go win games in a first year. So I think the best things I did was hire Joe and Jay and Pat and Pete Nocta, who's my assistant GM. And those four really spearheaded a lot of the processes that were going on here. I retained Josh Pruitt, who's our director of football operations. I don't know if you all know Josh. Phenomenal. That was one of the best things I did too, because he knows everything about Lexington, University of Kentucky, the people that matter. And he showed extreme loyalty from the minute I got here. And so allowed those guys to be here to work, try to work through FaceTime, Zoom calls. Being on Pacific time was really hard going back. Or I guess I was back in time. So like trying to work forward in time was really tough. So it was not easy. And I gave it my best on both sides. I know that. So was proud of what we were able to do really in the portal, those 10-day stretch where we had 66 people on campus on official visits, with, just to give you like a perspective, not just Kentucky last year, but even Oregon, the official visitors where we bring them in and pay for their trip with their parents and, their family. I think we did like 52 at Oregon throughout the entire year. And at Kentucky was around like 50 something as well. We did 66 in 10 days. So like talk about working around the clock, trying to get medicals on these guys, obviously work with their agents and getting right numbers, working through just the schematics of it. Do they fit what we want to do? It was a big, undertaking, and we ended up signing, I think, the number 4 class in the portal for the SEC, or 4 or 5, and then top 10 in the country. We got Lance Hurd from Tennessee, who's going to be a first-round pick at left tackle. We're able to get some really good players, and that's what's exciting to me now. Is like now we got a full year, and you can see what we're doing already, just recruiting, and the guys come on campus and love it because we're authentic, we're real. We're not the highest bidder on these guys. A lot of these guys you all see commit, it's not because of cash. If that's the first thing they ask me, I'm not taking them. I'm just not. I want them to love football. They love Lexington. They love Kentucky. And if you start there and win the relationships and get kids on the campus 3, 4, 5 times, you'll get them to commit because they love it. The guys that are committed have all been here about 4 times in the last 6 months. So wake them up, put them to bed. And it's recruiting is the lifeblood of our program. And so that to me is what's really exciting about the future here, sir. I'm going to call only the ones that work. Yeah. Go ahead.
Your friends, they gonna be concerned if you're here now and hope you care.
I don't care. I don't. I got enough problems. And if, one of my best friends, the minute I got the job, he bought season tickets here, threw all of his red out, and he's got blue on now. So that to me is a true friend. And shoot, I mean, about 90% of my buddies were Kentucky fans anyway. So they always talk trash on me on the other side. So now they're all excited. But yeah, it's funny when the people say, I'm going to cheer for you all but one. I'm like, I'd rather you just say, F you, I'm not going to cheer for you, and just cheer for them. Don't kind of be half in, half out. You're either with me or not, so, okay.
One
But,
more question.
Yes, ma'am.
You talked about a little bit about the defense.
100%. Yeah, we had our first OTA today, which stands for off-season training activities. It's really an NFL term. It's a glorified walkthrough practice, but very excited about Jay Bateman. He's aggressive. He's obviously had a lot of success at Texas A&M, and then prior to that, like when he was at Army, he was one of the best assistants in the country on paper. Was a Broyles Award finalist. He's a great man, great husband, great father. And I really like his style of defense. It's like I said, it's attacking. It's not sitting back. We're going to be able to pressure, get after teams in multiple different fronts, play man-to-man coverage, have some zone principles as well. So it's exciting. It really is. I think, the strength of our defense, I would say, I like our D-line. I like our secondary a lot. You bring back Ty Bryant, Ryan Nichols. We added Jordan Castell from Florida, who's played over 2,000 snaps in the SEC. Aaron Gates from Florida as well. Up front, we returned Mike East and Tavion Gadsden, who are going to be anywhere from 1st to 4th round picks. In my opinion, those guys are really good players. We had, Grant Gottfried at Mike Backer, Bo Barnes doing a good job, Antoine Smith. So we have pieces for sure. It's just, can we play clean in all 3 phases? Like, just don't beat ourselves. That is the key to having sustained success in football, is just moving forward on offense and just not letting explosive plays happen on defense. So if we can do that, excited about this team. I think we're dangerous. I love being the underdog. I've been it my whole life, and I just keep telling people, just put the ball down and play. Let's let it all figure out in the fall, and not be worried about what we can't control. The schedule, guess what? I didn't make the schedule. I also signed up to be a coach in the SEC. So like, choose your heart. I choose not to worry about things I can't control. Put the ball down. Let's play and see what happens. So appreciate everybody for having me. Thank you.
Thank you again for attending Rotary. Thank you, Coach Stein, for being here. Kentucky fans are resilient. Kentucky fans want to win. Kentucky fans are excited, and we believe that you are going to take us to the new highest level that we can. So thank you very much. We're very excited. Come back to Rotary. It's a great place to be. The picnic is tonight, and we're officially, oh, I have a lithograph, I'm sorry, from our own Bill Strauss that I'd like to present to the coach. So thank you very much. Anything else you need to say? Here we go. Gotta want to stop.
Go to the top.